A provisional cast-on has many uses. You'll be able to find more as you go along. It is a great way to join together the edge of a headband, the edge of a wristlet so you can't see where you start and stop. It could be used to join together the edge of the spiral hat by Plymouth Yarns. It's an ideal way to add a decorative cuff to the end of a sweater. If you're a child that grows fast, this is a great way to make the sweater last one extra year by having the cuff added on after the sleeve is finished. There's several different provisional cast-on. This one is a simple one. You start with a larger crochet hook than you would normally use. I like to use a J. You make just a basic chain stitch. I like to do 2 to 4 extra chains more than what is necessary for the cast-on. If the cast-on says 20 stitches, I like to make about 22 to 24 chains. After you get your chain made, you have 2 sides to the chain. The first side has the V's. The back has the little bumps. And what we're going to use is the little bumps. You insert your needle in one of the bumps, making sure you don't split it. Then you yarn over and pull it through the bump, and you continue all the way across, leaving your 1 or 2 extra chains on either side. It gives you a little edge to work off of when you get ready to take the chains out. So first you cast on all your stitches. And this would be considered row 1 of your design or row 1 of your sleeve. It depends on what your pattern calls for. Because when you get ready to do side 2, you're going to purl this row back. So this one's ready to start the purl row, or it's knit 2, purl 2, knit 1, purl 1, knit all the way across, whatever your pattern calls for, until you've reached your final size, or how the end of your pattern goes after you've completed this row. You would turn your work and you would knit across, purl across, whatever the design says. Once you've completed it, now you have something that looks like this. Now you will start unraveling your chain stitch. Being very careful, only take 2 or 3 out at a time. You pick up all your stitches very carefully, making sure they're going in the right direction. If they're not, you'll have to turn them. Sometimes it's easier to pick them up with a needle that's 1 or 2 sizes smaller than the required size. I mean, that's pretty easy to do also, and then transfer them over onto the right size needle. This is the one I always have a tendency to pull out. Okay. There. Once you're done, you've got your piece ready to actually start knitting again. So now you got all your live stitches back on your needle. You can begin your knit 2, purl 2, knit 1. You could add a different color, like in this case I'll go ahead and use the gold. You just insert your needle and just begin your pattern, like knit 2, purl 2, and start your cuff or whatever the pattern calls for. As I said, it's a very easy provisional cast-on to use. Now the only thing about the provisional cast-on is your stitches will be off by 1. It won't line up exactly with the actual row before, but it doesn't really make a lot of difference. If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother the person you're giving it to.